for some of you that may not know what's going on.
It depends on what you're talking about.
That
What's going on. There's a lot going
America,
on.
right, basically has troops and aircraft carriers, and we're basically headed to the Middle East. We're by Iran. There's over maybe 30, 40,000 people that have died and been killed in Iran. And the bottom line is it's kind of like a concentration camp right now inside Iran because people are being killed because of, I would say, the same thing we kind of went back over the last few months. Muslim extremists or this Muslim Islamic regime has, taken over the last 47 years. People are protesting in the streets, but they're being killed. People think it's bad in America with ICE. Could you imagine being, could you imagine being around? But right now, looks like we're pressuring with all this military. The military last week was headed in that direction, but we don't know where we're going. But at the same time, China is basically flying, it appears, military weapons and stuff like that to Iran from China.
For the Iranians?
For the Iranians as well.
Ouch.
And it seems like everyone's waiting for, America to basically
pop off and start everything.
To start like military action against Iran.
Have they stopped killing everybody
Well,
over there?
it seems like it's still going on. So as you know, my wife is, from Iran. She's Persian. We have family
She got
there
family
as well.
over there?
Still, the internet is down. Like I said, right now they're saying 30 to 40,000 people have been killed. People also are afraid to talk on the phones because it's being monitored because they're trying to find anybody that's protesting. Like I said, we talk about America here with one person being shot and everyone goes up in, up in the air in regards to one person, which of course is one life in America that's lost. But there's almost 40,000 people lives that are being killed because they're protesting in the street because they're against the government and the regime because they're basically, kind of like in a concentration camp, the way that they're being taken care of, the money, the food, the water, so it's a very sad situation. But I would say, and I said this last Friday, and I'll share one thing with you. The reason why the last two military actions with Venezuela and with the bombing in Iran always took place on a Friday night. Do you know why?
Mm-mm.
Because basically the stock market, they want to make sure the stock market's not affected because the stock market will go down 500, 600, 800 points if we go to war. And, so the question really comes down to is I thought the last two Fridays something would take place. Today's Tuesday. I mean, who really knows, right? But the last two events.
You can't see anything from there, right? No transmission.
There's no internet transmission, but we would know basically if there was military action that took place. But it is interesting because I never realized that because they wouldn't want to affect the stock market.
You'll never know anyway, like how because
what's going on in general.
Well, you'll never know if they're going to strike or what's going to happen. They just do it out of nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially the American. Now they got all that new weaponry. You heard about all that new freaky, super duper, supersonic, out of this world stuff that nobody else has that they have now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder where they got that from.
That was a good play, though. I have to say.
Well, the question is, will they use that type of stuff here in Iran as well? But here's a question for you, General. If I asked both of you, why is it important for us, America, to be involved in Iran to free the Iranian people, what would you say it's worth being involved or not involved? Because my friend Aaron, he basically mentioned that, we have enough problems in America. Why should we get involved in the situation in Iran? What would be your take on that?
I'm uneducated, so I'm not going to put my opinion out there.
Well, what do you think about other people just being killed for protesting?
It's still, I'm not educated enough to make that decision.
What's your take?
I don't believe people should be.
If it happened in Cambodia, should we do something? If
it happens
get
all
involved
over
as
the world,
American
what
people?
about
right now?
What about North Korea and those people that have been in that situation
That's
for?
true.
Ever, and we don't do anything about that. So, I'm not educated enough to make
I
that
think
decision.
the problem is America has been the big brother for so long, so everyone comes to America because they know what superpower we are.
Yeah, that's exactly right. America is supposedly the superpower, the daddy of the world. So for the smaller people that are in trouble, America needs to come in and help sort it out. In that aspect, I think we should. On the offhand is that I don't want it to go starting a freaking world war.
Yeah. But that's the thing. And because of our position here in America, that's why we have so many enemies, right? Now we're being targeted because we are helping out everybody else. Sometimes it's not even our issue, but you help people because, that's the right thing to do as a human being. But there's stuff is happening right now in Cambodia, too. Cambodia
It's happening
has
all
war.
over the world.
Cambodia
There's
has
so many
war with
places.
Thailand. And obviously, they're appealing to Trump to help as well.
Did he try? He did some stuff. Okay.
He negotiated a peace deal already, and then 2 weeks afterwards, Thailand reneged on their deal and started invading Cambodia. So now France is stepping in because Cambodia was a French colony for 100 years basically. So they have all the original maps and stuff. So now they're stepping in to show the world.
Okay. I mean, I do believe I like the fact that I'm American, that we are getting involved to help the greater good of mankind. And some people would say that we shouldn't get involved. I think it's good to be involved. The question is, how involved do you get? The problem with it is that what's happening in Iran with the Muslim extremists, and we talked about this in the past, but eventually it's coming to America, which it has, right? I mean, even the Twin Towers, right? You know, things are being affected in America. The question is, how far do you go to let it happen here? So if you don't stop it, from taking place, that's why with Israel, it's the only democratic, country that's out there in the Middle East in general. That's why it's important. But we really don't want this Muslim extremist ideology to basically take over all of that area and then for it to come to America.
Well, it's got New York, it's got Minneapolis,
I mean, I guess
They were trying to take parts of Texas, right?
Texas.
to that point, it's a good point to stop it before it starts spreading more here.
I mean, it makes me
Obviously.
nervous
So then
for
you
the
need
future.
to focus in on our own country and not so much into everybody else's first, right?
Yeah.
Because while you're distracted with other people,
Right.
we are now neglecting places like.
Right. But they're coming in from all those other places here.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
that's
why
what
you
we
s-
have to stop.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, that's why also with immigration right now, they're trying to get Iranian people that don't belong in America as well to remove them. Like, it's kind of interesting what's going on, right? Like, you have the Somalian thing, now you're Iranian people that don't belong here, maybe they're illegally as well, to remove those people that are illegal as well. So it's not like it's just one group. It is any group that's illegal. It's just depending upon what's going on. Like, same thing I think what they did with China or something like that. If China is going to be against America, why do we have like illegal, people from China that are here? Let's start removing them. So it's not like it's just Hispanic people.
How do
I
you
mean,
even get here from China and come into the country illegally?
I mean, eventually it seems like most people coming through the border through Mexico. I mean, not
They get dropped off
they're
in
not coming
Mexico
from
and just
Canada.
walk over?
Maybe.
But they
Yeah,
do
I
a
don't know.
crazy trip to Mexico.
Are you sure?
I mean, people
now?
not coming-
Not now,
Okay,
not
so-
now, not now.
People are not
So
coming
you
from
can
Canada.
Come
Yes.
here, you can come here to visit, like with
Yeah.
your passport.
Yeah,
and just
overstay your
never
visa.
leave.
You overstay your
I mean,
visa.
technically,
Yeah.
you're not legal.
A lot of people overstay their visa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they do. They just don't go back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
After the visa.
considered
Or they marry their-
illegal
or they marry
immigrant
their
as
cousin.
well.
Absolutely.
You marry your cousin,
Not
you
just
stay.
crossing illegally.
Well, that's part of their culture anyway, right?
Which
Yeah.
what? Marrying
They're cousins.
Siblings?
They're
In order
cousins.
to get
Which
citizenship,
culture?
if they're a citizen.
The,
Well, Somalian, right?
yeah,
well,
the
that's what most people
Somalis.
is.
First
and
of all, we're all incestual, according to Adam and Eve, okay?
Yeah, that's
we're
what I
all
brought up
brothers and
earlier. Like, I was
sisters.
like,
Yeah.
I don't like to think about
Yeah,
that.
the only reason we look different, you know why? Because the land masses are different. And that was separated,
right.
remember, by God. God separated that too. And then we didn't speak the same language on purpose.
I thought
think-
Superman did.
Yeah, well, Superman's the God people, That's his people, is what I'm saying. That's where he came from. God came from
So-
that one planet is not that name. But anyways, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So
So we all spoke one language in the beginning.
the bottom
Yeah, I
line
know
is,
that, right?
I think at this point in time, there's a lot of shit going on
Yes.
with China, with Russia, with Iran, Ukraine. There's a lot of stuff going on more now
So
than
I have
ever.
a suggestion for everyone that's worried about that and concerned about all the bullshit that's going on. Here's what you do. Here's what I do anyway. Stay in your own happy little bubble.
Oh, that's what I do.
That's all you can do.
Ignorance
She's in her
is
Starbucks
bliss.
Right.
bubble.
I'm
Ignorance
happy
is
as fuck
bliss.
in my bubble.
Don't be a good person. Don't be a cunt, and stay in your own happy bubble. And that's how I live.
Well, the good thing about that is when the world does end, or you're going to get nuked, you won't even feel it. You won't even
Well,
know about it.
When you
can't get
focus on
stressed.
all these things you can't control,
Yeah.
it takes up a lot of space
Yeah.
that you could spend enjoying life. And
Yeah,
now you're
Dave.
wasting life away.
Yep.
Yeah,
and
Cole Meyer.
instead,
Well, the problem is that I think that you need to.
you
I need
focus
to-
on what you can control. Like
Yeah,
you said,
Cole
a
Meyer.
peaceful
So-
protest, things
Stop
like
worrying
that,
about
but-
shit every day.
So yeah, you could
That's
sit
why you're
back
looking
and have
so
your Starbucks
aged.
and relax, and you can relax and not worry about it. Or some people want to get involved and want to protest.
Getting
But
involved
I will share
to
with
the
you.
point where you can, like it doesn't consume you though. These people are consumed
Consumed.
by it. There's people that are
Absolutely.
so
Okay.
consumed
Yeah.
that false news
I agree.
triggers them. I'm sure there's been false news that's triggered you.
Yeah, of course.
You know, like
That's the
because it
problem now,
consumes
too.
you.
Well,
don't
these
even
days you
know
don't
if
even know
it's
what's real or
false
not, right?
Exactly.
news. You have no idea.
Well, you try to debunk, or like go online. To
Yeah, I
research.
go on to I try to debunk your Insta stories to see if it's real or AI.
And then how do you do it?
yeah.
I think it's real. I don't think any of it's AI. No, there's
Which
no
ones?
way. All of them,
it.
like
all your dancing. and
yeah,
your
all the face
slaps.
pulling
How
and the
do you-
slapping.
We'd like to see it live right now.
yeah.
Where's that?
Yeah.
It's real.
Let me
See?
see this.
Oh,
All my
fucking
stuff is
Cole
real.
Can
There's
I
no,
backhand you?
there's no AI involved. See, it was real. It was real.
May I
Oh, it's not
backhand
good.
you? to
Is
see
there-
if it flutters?
Is there any? Have you ever heard the name Colemeyer before? I haven't.
All right,
I like
so
it.
let me recap
I like
one
it.
story
With a
that I want to
K.
share with you, which you've had a similar
Okay.
story in regards to
Okay.
being
Which one?
killed your family members. But I want to share one thing of why I'm involved specifically with Iran, even though my wife is Iranian. My family, one side is German, right? German Jewish, where they basically had to flee Germany because Hitler was coming. And so that was a problem in general. But the Germans, my ancestors that were German, they basically made it out to New York, to Ellis Island, but they got out when Hitler was basically rising up and they were able to basically get out. The other side is Hungarian and Czechoslovakian, which that side was not so lucky, where we've had cousins and family members have been killed in the concentration camps from Hitler. Now, it was different in 1945, 1946, 47. These years, there's no social media that we weren't able to go live like we're doing right now in order to basically be a voice in general. What I like about today is with technology, we're able to voice our opinions and share. And the problem is a little bit of the AI, right? We don't know fully what's going on, where we have to debunk certain things in general. But I like being the voice and sharing because I want people to be educated, because in 1945, my family basically didn't have that. And America acted a little too late. Right now, up to almost 40,000 lives have basically been killed in Iran. And those people are mixed, right? They could be different religions. They could be Jewish. They could be Christian. They could be Muslim.
Okay.
There's different people that are being killed. The bottom line is it's not a good situation. So I believe being a voice for the Iranian people, and even at the time when Ukraine was going on as well, even though now it's going on for a few years, I was also a voice then as well, right? War is not good in general. So I do believe, I like the fact of being the voice to try to help, to try to influence, to get the message across. And I'm glad America basically is being involved, because I believe for the last 47 years, Iran basically has been hijacked. And I think America basically is involved in that aspect of changing the regime and change the wrong person.
But the problem
if you
is
know the whole story.
we go in and help these countries, and then when we have to leave, which eventually we do have to, leave, it goes back to however it
Well,
was.
that's another problem in general. Right? You want to basically
Right?
try to set things up where a democratic society and basically people are free. But in this particular country, remember, a lot of people don't know the Iranian people from Persia are not Muslim. They were not a Muslim people. The Islamic regime took over that area and basically just have, kind of victimized, the people that are there in general. This guy's too busy with his old school energy drink.
Yeah.
So
We're bored of your
anyway,
conversation.
I can tell.
We hear you. We hear you.
I sound like Marcus with a rant, but what I'm trying to say is I do believe these days with social media that we're able to
That
voice
end with them,
and
you
hopefully
guys.
make a difference in general. Just like Australia, your country is taking over, and basically it's a problem.
Well, although the One Nation is flying up in the polls right now, it's a third party that's come in that's for the Australian people. That's about, stopping all this immigration and all this illegal immigration. So this One Nation, it's called, Pauline Hanson, it's for the people. And it's taken a massive shoot up in popularity, especially after the massacre that happened in Australia. And that doesn't happen over
Like
there.
a group.
Yeah, it's like another political
motion?
party, another
Okay.
political party that's come in that, has values that most of the Australian people believe in.
good.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's a problem, Joe. So I'm a little bit of
whole world has
a
issues
rant.
right
Like I
now, a
said,
lot.
it'll be very
Including
interesting
our
by
own
next
country.
week.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting by next Tuesday
see
when
what
we'll do it again
happens.
to see exactly what happens, because it just seems we are on the brink of it.
That's
So it
why-
makes me nervous again because of the nuclear situation, not knowing what they have, or if here's one thing to worry about in general. Since you like carrying a gun, do you carry a gun in the car?
Yep.
The other
I carry a
situation is
gun
there
on
can be what we call different cell terrors. Basically people that are Muslim extremists that are in the United States, where they basically make a phone call or they say, okay, today's the day, and everyone starts breaking out with guns and killing people in general in different cities. Basically, people are set up in every state, so it is possible that things can like that happen. So I think it is time to be more ready and to be more prepared in the United States, because you don't know. We a lot of times we would say it's like a single attacker, but it could be set up. People could be ready to go all over the place.
Oh,
It'd be-
that's why I don't go to group things. Like, I don't like to go to festivals and events
Yeah.
and stuff that have a lot of people, because I don't trust that things won't go
well.
south.
I'm with you.
in basically in
I'm
law
with ya.
enforcement, we would call it the lone wolf. I'm afraid when I say lone wolf, I always feel that the lone wolf is some person that has some type of ideology, but not Muslim extremist, more of like a white guy that basically just kind of lost
Why's
it
it gotta be
all.
white?
For some reason, the lone wolf seems to be that way. The Muslim
Wow,
extremists
yeah.
are a little bit different where they're doing the jihad, right? But I am concerned, like I said, in every state, and people will say that if they really want to attack somewhere, it would be the schools. And that's what concerns me, right? To really get you get the children. And that's one of the problems that makes me nervous of that. These Muslim extremists that may be out there that came through the borders from Iran. And if you ever seen online, they show people in the Mexican and American border where there are people that come from other countries and like, where are you going? One's like Chicago, one guy's like New York, one's like Florida, Tennessee. That you don't know how deep that people are within our country, which is a problem, which does concern me again.
the cells.
Yes. So I think that we need to be more prepared as Americans because you just don't know what's going to
Well,
happen.
not
Just like
just
9/11.
carrying.
Nobody ever thought two planes, would basically go into the towers or
Yeah,
DC, right?
That's true.
So the question is, what have they lined up if something basically, goes down with all the illegal immigration that's taking place? You just don't know. And like I said, the towers were hit the second time. That was the second time they were hit,
Well, there's nothing you could have did to
So I
stop
think-
that anyways. It was a
but I
plane
think-
going into a building.
Well, that's why I think these days the FBI is more involved with intel and undercover, and also in Israel, basically with Mossad, who knows, all throughout Iran and other countries as well to basically see what's going on. So, but I don't want you to go on a tangent
too
with
much
Israel
stuff
and stuff like that.
happening right now.
So a lot going on. We'll see what happens within the week. But I do believe next week, honestly, something's going to happen. We have just too much military there, unless these people are leaving Iran, which it does not seem like they're leaving because they want to basically be a martyr at the end to be like, hey, we got killed there.
So it's interesting though. I have a friend that's in the military now, and she tells me they're not telling her or them anything. There's a special training coming up for these people, and they're not given any information until right before, and they're going to be deployed. But it's not really deployed overseas. Its deployment is here. Yeah, something big is going to go down here in the next, probably a few weeks. Yeah,
You mean in
Well,
America?
in America, yes.
Take care of
Stay
us.
prayed up,
Yeah.
baby. Stay prayed up.
Yeah, but they're not giving them any
But
information.
what do you mean by
either.
that? So what was your takeaway from that? What,
The takeaway is something big is going to happen
Okay.
here.
Here in
Yeah.
America.
Yeah, here.
So it means that we
So
could
they're
be
rounding
attacked.
Stay
up
out
the
of big
troops.
groups.
They had big
Well,
groups.
they're rounding up the troops now.
I'm not going to festivals.
The troops, even the lower level troops.
I'm not going.
in
I'm not
America
going
being
downtown to
rounded up,
Fremont.
And they're
Oh,
not
definitely
telling them
not.
anything about where
Right.
they're going.
Although Vegas
with
probably
all
wouldn't
that
get
I
stuff.
think the
it
biggest thing is to be
It's very
really
secret,
Nothing
secret.
here.
be
You
more,
don't think so?
more prepared.
You don't think? Do you think Las Vegas would be a target?
I mean, they always say it's a target because of the Nellis Air Force Base and, the drones come out of Nellis Air Force Base as well. That at least the Muslim extremists think that Vegas
Area
is a spot.
50, Area 51.
Yeah. So it's a problem. So I guess we'll see what happens next week. Otherwise, prayers for any troops that are overseas, anyone that has military over there whatsoever. So we should say a prayer at night, basically for the troops that are out there every day. Because they, think about it right now. We sit here in a podcast studio. These people are on a ship ready to go. They believe that they're at war right now, which we are at war. It just the military has not totally, consumed the situation, but they're ready to go. I mean, we are in war. If you were a soldier right now, in the Middle East right now, you're like ready.